Hello, mystery friends. I'm glad to see you. Welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Sarah Hualde. I am the author of over 14 mysteries, both in Christian suspense and in paranormal cozy. And I am so happy to have you. We are going to be talking about some of my favorite services for writers, especially independent writers who are in charge of things like their own covers and their own advertising. Today, I'm excited to share with you my top 2 favorite Fiverr gigs. I have used Fiverr services since the very first book I published. It was a tiny book about a 10-year-old girl struggling with dyslexia as she was being homeschooled. And that book's cover came straight from Fiverr. And that was my very first gig, my very first purchase. And I was thrilled with it immediately. I loved the pricing structure. I loved that you could control how quickly you wanted your product returned based on which gigs you chose. I loved that a novice like me, especially at the time, I had no idea what I was doing, could get online and find the person and the service that I needed in a very short amount of time and actually get results in a very short amount of time. So my top 2 Fiverr recommendations for 2022 is kind of funny because I use Fiverr all the time. I probably use at least 10 services a year. Some of these are, that's not including the repeats. And so the 2 that I chose today are 2 that I have gone back to for more than a year. And they were the ones that were very beneficial in 2022, but that I will keep using in 2023 because it's really hard to narrow down all the cover designers, logo designers, marketing help, what else? Beta readers, description writers that I have used in the past, trying to narrow those down to just 2 or 3. So I'm just going to go with the 2 that I know I'm going to use, already have used, this year and used most recently in this last year in 2022. And the first one we're going to start with is Olivia Pro Design. She is a book cover genius. Her prices are really reasonable. Her turnaround is really insanely fast. I don't know how she does it. She must have a whole bunch of like minions working for her that, run on coffee and Red Bull. I don't know, but she is amazing. Let me show you some of her recent covers that she made for me. She helped redo my whole Paranormal Penny series through Book Rescue. Again, you guys need to check out Book Rescue Season 2. I'll leave a link in the description. Dale L. Roberts is amazing. Watch me be a complete goober, but watch the process of launching a book with me. It was crazy exciting and fun to do. Anyway, here is one of the books in my Paranormal Penny series. She's super cute. Like Penny is super cute in this. Look at her pink hair and the disco ball. It's my favorite. One of my covers probably is my all-time favorite. If you don't know, in every Paranormal Penny mystery cover, the raven, if you're listening to it, the raven signifies death is coming, is hidden somewhere on the cover. And here it's in this little tiny disco ball. I don't know if you can see his reflection there or not, but that's where the raven is in this book. The one that I launched with Book Rescue was Burned, and this is the cover for Burned. My camera's kind of picking it up all fuzzy because it's all bright and light and crazy in here, but she's got orange hair, so she's able to change my hair color. She's able to change the shirt color because Penny's hair changes like every book or every other book. Recently, it's almost been every book, so that's a big plus that I'm not stuck with a particular look that I want for my main character. Olivia can help modify it in whatever way I need for that book. And this is my most recent one. Don't mind the line through it. I'll show you a better picture later, but this is the one that's launching in just a week or 2. Actually, by the time this goes out, it's probably in a day or 2. And this is Twisted. This is book 7 in the series. You can tell Penny's hair is, aiming at the camera, Sarah. Penny's hair is black in this book. And it's just, look, it's the thickest book I've written so far in the history of Paranormal Penny mysteries, but they're just cute covers, and she does a great job keeping the heart of what I want in the cover while modifying and tweaking it to show the little tiny details that only the readers and the fans would actually understand was a big point in the story, like hiding the raven in every cover. So sometimes he's hidden, sometimes he's in plain sight, but look for him. He's always there. And that's Olivia Pro Design. Of course, everything I'm talking about, I will leave links down to in the descriptions. I am an affiliate of Fiverr, so you could totally help me out by, if you're thinking about using Fiverr, going online and using my link to go buy your next gig. It doesn't cost you anything, and it just helps me a little tiny bit. My next, number 2, and this is not first place or second place, is Kit D56. I know that's a weird mouthful, but I'll explain, and I'll put her in the description, of course, so that you can go find her gigs. I have used, this is actually more than one gig. I have used her as a beta reader, and I've also used her as a proofreader line editor. Okay. The first time I used Kit, I was taken aback by the amount of detail she gives you in your beta reports. It's not just, did I like the book? Were there plot holes? Is there anything I should fix? All the things that you need to know from a beta reader. It was things like, you have misused this word this many times, and this is what the word really means. Here's a link to teach you how to use a better word to substitute for the word you're trying to use. You have used the word but 367 times. 82 of those are for the beginning of sentences. You need to knock that off, out, or get it down to at least only 5. And here is a link to show you how to do that. I can't go into all the details she has because it's so much. It's like a 3-page report coming in telling you how much she liked the story, but also all these little things that we, or at least me as a writer, tend to overlook as I'm drafting. And even as I've done my revisions and my edits, I have learned so much from Kit that I go back naturally and start looking for some of the things that she has listed out. In fact, I have a notebook compiled of the things that Kit has asked me to change for my line edits, so that I know that before I send it to her the next time, I can go through and try to clean out as much as as possible, so she can go even deeper into my edits the next round and tell me the next step of me becoming a better writer. And that's what I use her beta, that's just her beta reading skills for. When you sign up as a beta reader, sign her up as your beta reader, and she gives you your report. At least this is the case for me. It could change in the future. She gives you a discount on her line edits and her proofreading. And if you thought the beta reading she did was intense and detailed, her line edits and her proofreading are superb. She doesn't hesitate to ask you questions for clarification. She doesn't hesitate to tell you what you've done is just totally wrong, but in a completely kind-hearted and educational fashion, so that you can take what she says and make yourself a better writer the next time around. I will be using Kit D56 for my line edits for quite a while now, because I can't find one as detailed, as comparable as with the pricing, who also has an amazing beta reader segment. So like, let's say I'm really tight on funds and I can't afford a proofreader or line editor of her magnitude. Okay. I would 100% still splurge on getting her beta reading report, so that I can go through and make all the changes that she's already asked me to make, so that I can already improve my document that much before I send it to somebody else who might work on a timeline. Like some proofreaders who are in the cheaper price range, they kind of work on how many passes they take through your book. Look, I'll take 2 passes through your book. Anything they don't catch through that just falls through the cracks. Or they tell you, I'm going to take 5 days to do this. I'm going to go through it at least once. If I get through it more than that, great. If not, it's because your manuscript was already too littered with edits that I couldn't finish another pass in time. And so you get what you get. But Kit, she is awesome, and she's easy to work with. And one of my favorite things about Kit is, even with her beta reader service, she will tell you at nighttime. She doesn't work on the weekends, and she's very clear about that. So if you sign her up sign up with her and you want a 10-day service, just know the 10 days isn't going to include the weekends or holidays. And she's very upfront about that and very honest about that. In fact, she encourages you to reach out to her before you book so that she can clarify any of those points for you that she needs to. But every weekday when she is finished either beta reading or proofing, she sends you an email telling you, I am 36% through with your book. I'm loving it so far. Or I am 57% through. I'm taking the weekend off. I'll see you on Monday. I'm hoping to finish next week. She sends you daily reports on how far in she is on your book, which is awesome because that gives me, the writer, the power to know, okay, she's 80% through with this book. I can then decide if it's time for me to order my covers at that point, or if it's time for me to start telling my readers and my newsletter that the book is about to come out, because I try not to announce a book is going to launch until I have a very good idea of what the date will be when it launches and a very good idea of how much longer it will take to get the proofing and such done. And I don't know that until the very end. And Kit helps so much with her percentages and her updates. So those are my two favorite Fiverr gigs for 2022. And they're two that I'm going to be using as long as I possibly can, because Olivia Pro Design has helped my penny nickels, my paranormal penny series so much. And Kit, she is an amazing beta reader and line editor. And as far as Fiverr goes, for the pricing that I am using, I haven't been able to find better ones on Fiverr. So I totally recommend them. Please check out the links in my descriptions. Please, if you are enjoying this series and you want to see what I actually write, you can check out my Christian fiction under the Honeypot Mystery series, or you can check out my Paranormal Penny series, which is a paranormal cozy mystery series. And that is the one that's going to be launching book 7 pretty much any day now, depending on what time I launch this video. I've loved hanging out with you, and I will catch you next time. Bye.